Welcome to This Explainer. I am so incredibly pumped to have you here today. We're diving straight into a crime mystery that literally rips wide open a notorious, decade-old cold case. We're talking high-stakes suspense, a specialized task force, and the incredibly personal, chilling details of an intense FBI manhunt. So grab a seat because we are going to walk through every single twist and turn of this terrifying return.
Okay, I want you to just drop right into the atmosphere of this scene. Imagine the relentless, heavy rain pouring over the suburban streets of Seattle. It's late, the wet streets are slick, and you've got flashing red and blue police lights cutting through the darkness. Detective Mark Sullivan, who's this hardened 20-year veteran of the force, steps out of his car and walks into a house that is eerily, terrifyingly silent. Inside, he discovers a scene that is just totally baffling. 3 victims, a mother, a father, and their teenage son. Now, there is absolutely no sign of forced entry. Nothing appears stolen, nothing is ransacked. But what truly unsettles Sullivan, and remember, this is a guy who has seen it all in his 2 decades on the job, is how the victims are positioned. They aren't just left where they fell, they've been carefully, meticulously arranged in the living room, sitting totally upright on their couch, almost like they're posing for some macabre family portrait.
The sheer psychological weight of that scene is heavy enough, right? But then Sullivan looks up, and what he sees makes his blood run completely cold. Painted on the living room wall in dark red, right above the violently posed family, is the unmistakable image of a raven. Sullivan just freezes. All his years of training, his practiced composure, poof, it vanishes in an instant. He turns to his junior officer and delivers a chilling absolute command: call the FBI now. He doesn't ask for standard homicide backup. He doesn't bother securing the perimeter for local forensics. No, he immediately escalates this to the absolute highest federal level.
Section 1, the Seattle Triple Homicide, a grim discovery. Okay, let's dive into this and look objectively at the breakdown of this baffling crime scene.
Now, what's really wild about this evidence is how perfectly it captures the impossible nature of the crime. On one hand, we have the forensic reality. This killer managed to subdue 3 people, stage their bodies meticulously, and paint a giant symbol on the wall, all while leaving absolutely zero physical trace. The victims? No known enemies. Neighborhood security cameras caught absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. Inside the house? No unidentified fingerprints, not a stray drop of DNA. It is a complete investigative void. But then, contrast that with the other side. The raven symbol. It's this loud, brazen calling card. The killer is essentially shouting their identity to the world while simultaneously remaining a total ghost in the physical evidence. It's absolutely wild.
Section 2, the Raven's Dark Legacy, a ghost from the past. To really understand the immense gravity of that signature bird symbol, we need to shift our timeline and travel thousands of miles away. We find ourselves deep in the isolated, freezing forests of Montana. Out here, former FBI profiler Ethan Cross lives completely alone in a remote cabin. He's entirely cut off from the world, really just trying to escape a monumental past failure. But that peaceful, self-imposed isolation completely shatters when his secure satellite phone rings. Ethan answers, and his response is just ice cold. He says, "I told you never to call me." But the familiar voice on the other end doesn't apologize. They just deliver 2 devastating words: he's back. Ethan tries to deny it. He argues that the killer disappeared 10 years ago, but he's abruptly told about the Seattle murders and that dark red raven symbol. Director Bennett wants him in Washington, D.C. immediately. The ghost from his past has finally found him. So the crucial point here is this staggering number, 27. When Ethan hangs up that satellite phone, he doesn't pack his bags right away. No, instead, he stares at this old, yellowing newspaper clipping he keeps pinned to his cabin wall. The headline reads, "The Raven Killer Vanishes After Claiming 27 Victims." 27 lives. That is the devastating body count this serial killer racked up before going completely dark. It's a massive number, and it's one that has haunted Ethan every single day of his exile. Let's map this timeline out, just to truly grasp the tragic arc of Ethan's career. 15 years ago, Ethan Cross was this brilliant, intensely driven profiler who began the grueling task of hunting the Raven. I mean, he dedicated his entire life to it. For 5 agonizing years, he chased shadows, constantly trying to anticipate the killer's next move. And for 5 years, he failed to catch him.
Then, 10 years ago, the killings just suddenly stopped. The Raven vanished without a single trace, leaving Ethan with a broken career and just a mountain of guilt, which is what prompted his retreat to that cabin in Montana. And that brings us to today. The Seattle triple homicide occurs. The 10-year hiatus is officially over. Section 3, Assembling the Task Force. The Washington, D.C. briefing. The narrative moves really rapidly now as Ethan arrives at a secure government facility to meet the team assembled to counter this massive threat. Let's take a quick look at the specialized players in this room. Leading the charge is Director Sarah Bennett. She's the commanding authority who pulled Ethan out of retirement. Flanking her are two top-tier experts brought in specifically for this high-stakes manhunt. First, we have Agent Maya Torres, who brings critical tactical and combat experience from her extensive background in special operations. And then we have Lucas Reed. He's a brilliant cybersecurity specialist, and he's tasked with finding the digital footprint that this killer must surely have, despite the utter lack of physical evidence at the scene. This is the elite task force assigned to stop the Raven. Section 4. A chilling personal message. The final piece of evidence. Let's step back into the mystery unfolding right there in that briefing room. As Director Bennett projects the Raven symbol on the screen, Ethan confirms with absolute dread it is the exact same symbol from 10 years ago. Let's see how this suspense builds, because that symbol on the wall, it actually wasn't the only thing left behind. Director Bennett breaks the silence to announce that they found something else. Step 1. She carefully opens a sealed plastic evidence bag retrieved from the Seattle house. Step 2. From inside that bag, she reveals a single, pristine black feather. Ethan's eyes just go wide as he realizes the killer's signature has evolved into something physical. But it's step 3 that really changes the whole game. Attached to the stem of that black feather is a small, neatly folded, handwritten note. Ethan unfolds the paper. The entire room goes dead silent. And this brilliantly illustrates the terrifying, personal nature of this new crime. The message contains only 4 words. Welcome back, Ethan. Think about that. The killer didn't just randomly strike in Seattle. No way. This was a targeted invitation. The Raven isn't just back to kill. He is back specifically to challenge the one man who spent half a decade trying to stop him. Which leaves us staring at a massive, deeply unsettling cliffhanger. I mean, how does the Raven even know Ethan has returned? Ethan has been completely off the grid in a Montana cabin, yet this killer left a personal message at a fresh crime scene, perfectly anticipating his involvement. And perhaps the most haunting question of the entire setup, why did the killer wait 10 years to strike again? What has the Raven been doing for an entire decade? And why is today the day he decided to resume his deadly game? Think about those questions as we wrap up. The answers lie hidden in the dark shadows of this incredibly suspenseful pursuit. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep your eyes on the details, and I will see you next time as we continue to uncover the truth.